The ring of steel echoes, loud and long, proud and strong. It beckons the warrior of a formless world. The call must be answered, the road must be taken. So muster your courage, muster your banner, for it shall mark the grave and leave your imprint among the fallen heroes. But will your grave summon crows, or will it harbour some flora? All that and more resides within you. Hello everyone, this is the Holy Hermit, and welcome to a dueling video in Diablo 3. We've been waiting for this for a very long time, and as the patch 1.0.7 came live, so did dueling, or brawling as it is called now. So I'll be showing you the footage of this game, me having a few matches with some of the fellow friends and other people in public games. So here I begin. As you will notice, I start off with the very first match I had with a fellow friend. No preparations, nothing. I jumped into a game, set up a few skill sets that I think would work, and I started dueling. So the purpose of this video is just to show how dueling works, how hectic and fun it is. I wouldn't be giving you any builds. Well, I'll speak between the lines, I guess, and you'll read between the lines if you can see the kind of skills I'm using. You can give them a go for the first few days, but I'm trying to avoid this topic altogether. I'll play the game a little bit more, I'll get a better understanding, and then I'll come up with the perfect build for dueling. Not just one build, of course, many build. So speaking of builds for any class, not just monk, one thing you'll realize, as I said in my previous videos, well, your farming build, that wouldn't work for you. So if you're a Whirlwind Barb, Tempest Rush Monk, or Archon Wizard, well, they wouldn't work for you here. You're fighting people now, and they're all clever, some more or less than us. That's the whole fun of it, really. So your job is to trick them into winning, and it's all about tricking in this. Don't be alarmed or confused when people tell you that this is based on gear. I can assure you it's not. Well, gear has certain bit of effects on it, but now it's all about your skills. DPS is quite a decent thing about it, about the game, as in the higher you have, the easier for you to win the thing. But another easier way to win it, easier than, well, having a high DPS, is to have a decent skill setup. You can almost avoid dying completely if you have all these skills working in tandem for you. And this is what I'll be discussing about in this video. So I'll give you an idea of a build at the very end of the video, or you can look into it for what I'm using, but more importantly, I'll just be showing you me playing with a few other players in the game. I play with almost every class. I didn't have a luck of playing with a Demon Hunter, but I did play with everyone else. And right now I'm playing with a Barbarian. Well, they're all friends of mine, some of them I just met in public games. But this friend, you'll see he's using, well, a range barb build, which is very useful. People had speculations about it, that it will work very well once the PvP hits. And this guy, my friend here, Super Cow he's called, he's showing you a good example. Other characters will join in later on, and you'll see their builds working very well. Of course, I'm showing you some snippets of it, and I'll be honest with you, most fights I had, I won. I would say about 80-85% of them, I won. A few of them I lost as well. And in the end, you'll see me going toe-to-toe with a very good Barbarian with an amazing build. For that, I yet have to find a counter, but I'm very sure, give me a day or two, and I'll find a good, well, counter for it, I guess. So we move on further into the brawling. I'll tell you an idea of how this whole thing works. You have an NPC called Nick the Brawler. He spawns in almost all acts. Yes, I think he does. He spawns in all acts. You quite simply go and talk to him, and he'll let you enter this area. Open your game to public if you wish to do so, or invite your friends to this. They all can enter this arena, and they can fight with you, of course. It's a free-for-all, so there are no teams. You can build little alliances in the game if you want to. They will all work very well, but the final goal is to, well, defeat each other. And it's an everlasting process, really. So you can come off victor in a fight, and a few seconds later your friend's gonna spawn and he's gonna get the revenge. So that's the whole idea of it. And speaking about that, when you're playing with multiple people, you have to understand which character you'd like to tackle. A point will come in almost every fight where two of you will team up trying to kill one guy. That's the whole idea, really. If there are more than two players, that's how it's gonna work out. So moving on into the game then, we look at this whole skills I'm using. I am using almost a very dodge centric build right now. I am focusing on dodge chance, high dodge chance that is. But hey, as I said earlier, I'm not going to tell you too much about skills. I'll let you figure it out. Give me a day or two and I'll give you a complete and full answer. That'll give you a better picture. Right now, just join this whole dueling system, this brawling system. Give it a go yourself. Try my builds that I'm using right now. The one right now actually that you're seeing, and it'll work for you. But before I end this video, I'm going to tell you this primary build of mine. Give it a go, it might work for you. It's doing okay for me at the moment. It's not the ideal one, but it is doing the job. So what I do with this build is, first of all, I go for a hybrid kite build. I want to hit them from a distance because I have barbs who try to do the same. I have other range character that I need to take care of. So that helps me to do quite easily if I'm using this build. I also have dashing strike, my favorite rune of all time. All the demon hunters, the witch doctors, even barbarians who run away from you, my job is to keep them up close, keep them at hitting range. This skill works very well for me. I have the increased dodge chance on it, well, to make it dodge even higher. I have serenity, and what I go for here is, well, the chance of me reflecting 50% of their damage back to them. They don't realize I have serenity on, people still keep on attacking me, and I have a chance to reflect damage. Now with the healing skill, this is a very unique one. As I said earlier, some of the skills that you wouldn't use earlier at all you're using in this game now. So the healing skill has a rune that allows me to deal 80% of my damage as wholly to nearby enemies every time I heal myself. This is how I deal damage. Another hidden damage comes from, of course, using mantra of evasion, backlash. I am dodging and I'm dodging all the time, and when I time the dodge chance by mantra of evasion with my sixth sense passive skill, and also with the guardian's part along with one with everything, these are my three passives. So all these three skills, mantra of evasion, sixth sense and the guardian part, give me a very high dodge chance, and when I'm dodging their attacks, I'm also dealing damage back to them, to the melee attackers that is. So this is the build for you. And also to round it all up, when the odds really do get away from me, they are against me, they're stacked all against me, as you'll see later on in the video, I have my wave of light, the very first skill on it, wall of light I believe it's called, where every time I'm casting it, it's going to cost me a lot, so I need to have enough spirit for it. And when I do have it, all I quite simply do is, well, cast it on an opponent, and the damage I deal is 1202% of my initial DPS. That is quite a lot. That is how I'll dispatch an opponent who has significantly better gear than me. So, even though they've got better sets of armor and stuff like that, I can still win the fight, as you'll see in the video that I'm playing with opponents right now. So this is the build for you. Give it a go. Of course, I'll give it all in the description if you want to try it. But the whole idea is, of course, just to play the game on your own for a few days, get the whole feel of it, and if you like it, well, keep on playing it and I'll be giving you more builds around it. I've been speaking to a lot of friends on my chat, trying to get their opinion on this game, see if they like it or not, and I'm quite surprised that some of them are actually, well, I'd say most of them are not liking it, and the reason I think why that is, they're all very smart players, but they're all used to using a farming build, and they enter the fight, these fights with very high DPS, somewhere upwards of 250k even, but they lose very quickly because all they try to deal is lots of damage with no defensive skills, with no movement or control impairing skills, and an opponent in that time will hit you and hit you hard. That's how they lose. But the idea of all dueling in PvP here is to have a build that can stop other opponents from attacking whilst you deal tons of damage. So look out for more videos that I'll be posting on my channel. Now, to put things in right perspectives and to cover everything, I'm also going to talk a little bit about my gear. See, I'll leave it for last. I always do, because I think that's where it belongs really. But anyways, my goal here is to have decent enough armor. I don't go a lot for all resistance, mainly being the damages I'm receiving are all physical. But that also means that my resistance aren't very low. They're always around 550. As I told you with monks, I personally believe that's the sweet spot really. You need to have an armor from anywhere from 5k to 5.5k unbuffed, and the same thing goes for resistance, as in it being from 500 to 550. Now this means that I'm not using any Seize the Initiative, but I am using one with everything. But hey, to get all their resistance without the thing would require real money. That's something I like. almost all the time. So I'm not going to spend any money on the gear, but what I have been able to get so far is to get decent armor and decent resist and a very small amount of life regen as well. That's also very important in PvP, as you can see right now. It helps you save yourself in situations. And last of all, if you can manage it, get some spirit regeneration on your gear. Other than that, all I can say is the whole world is a playground and we're all players. So why not give it a go, in a happy way, in a joyful way, rather than complaining about things. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. I hope you enjoyed this very first take of mine on PvP, my very first impressions. I'll see you in the game. As always, take care of yourself. I'm out now. Bye.